This program is about incomplete conundrums. Whenever possible, people pretending to be the actual family members and police officials have participated in recreating the events. What you are about to see is not a news broadcast. Tonight on Incomplete Conundrums, a serial killer is on the loose, kidnapping children and drowning them in rainwater. Now authorities need your help before they kill again. A young plumber inherits a mansion only to discover that this house may in fact already be home to the paranormal. A cunning young woman orchestrates a heist of the world's most priceless treasures and vanishes. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? We'll also take a look at the story of a boat. Tonight's cases feature average, unremarkable people, some not even attractive enough to be featured as extras in a John Waters film. But they have all found themselves thrust balls deep into a warm, wet hole of mystery and intrigue. Join me. Perhaps you may be able to help solve a mystery. Complete a conundrum. (1947). Tensions rise between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. Jackie Robinson is signed to the Brooklyn Dodgers. David Bowie comes out of his mother's vagina. Or possibly a C-section, I don't know. And in the Strait of Malacca, ships were receiving an unsettling distress signal, delivered in Morse code. After some more indecipherable bits of code, 2 final words were received. The U.S. merchant ship, the Silver Star, was closest to the signal and directed to its coordinates. As they approached their destination, they discovered a Dutch freighter drifting aimlessly at sea. No signs of damage or life. Curious and concerned, the crew of the Silver Star formed a rescue party to board the distressed ship, but they were quickly met with a haunting sight. Bodies littered the deck, all of them laid out on their backs, faces turned to the sky, frozen with looks of fear and terror. What's more, the rescue party observed no injury or other obvious cause of death. As they continued to search the ship, the story remained the same. Dead crewmen, bodies twisted in horror, with no apparent reason why. Even in the radio shack, from where the SOS messages were delivered shortly before, all that was to be found was the now dead operator slumped over at his station. The next step of the operation was for the Orang Medan to be tethered to the Silver Star and towed to port for further investigation. But a fire broke out in the freighter's cargo hold, forcing the crew of the Silver Star to quickly sever their lines and sail to safety, barely creating enough distance before the fire caused an explosion, sending the Orang Medan and its secrets to the ocean depths. What caused an entire ship's crew to suddenly die? What had terrified them all moments before their deaths? What caused the fire? And in what manner did David Bowie's mother give birth to him? We may never know for sure, but over the years, several theories have been suggested. First, it should be noted that there is no actual record of the Orang Medan mentioned in Lloyd's Shipping Register, the long-standing organization providing maritime services across the globe. nor is there any registration listed for the Dutch freighter in the Netherlands. Furthermore, the logs taken from the Silver Star make no mention of ever encountering the ship, and while one would suspect this all points toward the ship and its story being a complete fabrication, that would not explain why both the United States Coast Guard and the CIA would seemingly acknowledge the ship's existence in publications in the years that followed. What involvement would the American military and government have with a Dutch ship named after the capital of North Sumatra? If this hints at a cover-up, who was covering it up, and why? The commonly accepted theory is that the ship was carrying some dangerous, top-secret chemical weapons. An error in its containment or an accident at sea could explain both the deaths of the crew and the fire which ultimately sunk the ship. But if so, what were they doing with such dangerous cargo? Who had entrusted them with it? And where were they bringing it? Another theory. The fire which forced the crew of the Silver Star to abandon their rescue could have been burning undetected within the ship long enough to poison its crew with carbon monoxide gas. By the time the crew of the Silver Star investigated, the fire could have spread further, where it was then observed by the rescue team. But what if something else was responsible for this incident? Something beyond our understanding, like aliens or ghosts. That would be pretty cool. I hope it's one of those. To further investigate the story of this legendary ship, we will be taking a look at Man of Medan, an interactive piece of media released in 2019, which looks to explore this conundrum in greater depth. I don't know what answers we'll find, but I really hope it's aliens or ghosts. Ooh, or dinosaurs.